Yeah, and I mean, I'm a 4-time natural bodybuilding champion.
Wow.
The 4 times I won, I've been 100% vegan.
Wow.
Never had any problems building muscle. It's geared more so towards your training, because if it was all about protein, he who consumes the most protein would always dominate, and
Right.
that's not the case.
Not the case.
And I don't believe in tracking macros and all that other stuff when it comes to training. My philosophy is simple. I teach people, as well as my own training, more intuitive measures, just kind of listening to the body, and when I did track one time just to see how much protein I consumed, if I consumed 50 grams, that was a high day for me. But then you see most guys in the gyms consuming 200 and 300 grams of protein per day. For what? Like I mentioned, your body is only going to absorb what it needs, and the rest you're going to be taxing your kidneys and liver to excrete. So that's kind of my take on it.
Okay. Now, another myth I want to bust up real quick is you workout people out there, y'all stuck on these energy drinks, okay? Y'all drinking Monsters. Y'all drinking 5-hour energy drinks, juice, whatever that. Man, talk to the people. Tell these people, man, they need to get away. Talk to them, Will.
Well, like you mentioned, they need to get away from it. All you're doing is consuming, whether it's, let's even take it to coffee, for example. A lot of people rely on that burst of energy from there. You're consuming caffeine or, stimulants in whatever type of energy drink you're consuming. All they're doing is stimulating your adrenals and draining them. Your adrenals are the little nodules that sit on top of the kidneys, which are, there for our flight or fight response, when we're faced with certain dramatic circumstances in everyday life, and they release that adrenal shot, to get energized, hype wherever it is to get yourself out of a situation. That's how they are supposed to function by design, and they have a storage, that typically you like to be filled in case you're faced with something in your daily life. However, when you're consuming stimulants, i.e. energy drinks, you're stimulating those adrenals. There's no fight or flight response. You're not being faced with a situation. You're doing it because you need to go lift weights. I don't think that's very scary. I mean, depending on your take on weights.
Right.
You want it, and you get jittery because of the fact, you got all that excess adrenal in your system running through your bloodstream. You go lift, it leads to a host of other problems. I've seen people develop heart issues behind it because your heart rate increases, everything. But like I say, it's just stimulating those adrenals, releasing it unnecessarily, and you're not actually faced with a situation. In everyday life, if it's fight or flight, it's that rush. And then, typically, in most cases, the situation you'll be out of in a matter of seconds or a minute at the longest. When you're consuming it artificially and stimulating those adrenals, and you're consuming, let's just call it what it is, poison in a sense. You're right. Extended rush, and you're just draining those adrenals, and you gotta burn it off. Because I know I've done them before in the past. I'll be 100% honest.
Right.
And I remember times where I'm lifting, did my workout. After workout, I'm still jittery. And this is the time I stopped. I was like, I tried something that a friend gave me, some powder. Hey, try this pre-workout. And actually, it ended up getting banned because it had harmful ingredients and somebody suffered a heart attack.
Wow.
And after that, I was like, I'm done. Because, I completed an hour workout and I'm just jittery. Like, I need to go do something. I got overdosed in a sense on adrenaline. And it was running through my body. And, it's just one of those things. When you consume those energy drinks in that artificial form, it just lingers. And it was a while before I calmed down after that. But when I came back to my senses, I was like, yeah, that's it.
No energy drinks, people.
Can't do it.
Coach Will, man, what would you say is the question that you get asked the most by people?
Man, I mean, we kind of touched on it a little bit. Where do you get your protein? Although that's dying down now. I'm loving that because for a while, I'd answer that if I'm, in the gym every 5 feet. If I got on a vegan T-shirt or something, every 5 feet, every other person. Where do you vegan? Yeah. Where do you get your? You vegan? Yeah. Where do you get your? So I'm loving the fact that people are either A, doing research, or B, know the answer, or C, just don't ask anymore. Whichever it is, I'm cool with that. But that was the biggest question. Now the question is, a lot of people are looking for substitute foods. They're like, okay, if I give up eggs, what should I replace it with? Is there a plant-based this or that?
What do you think? What do you think about that? What like replacing stuff? Because like you said with the eggs, I forgot what it's called. It's some little, I forgot. They sell that like Whole Foods. It's kind of like an egg substitute. I don't like it.
Yeah.
I think it's like mud bean or something like that.
Yeah, that's that Jest egg. I believe that's the brand.
Right.
It's like mung bean.
Right.
You have those, which are substitutes, but if you're baking, for example, you could do like a flax egg, as it's called, using number flaxseed and water.
Okay.
A lot of people use what's known as aquafaba, I believe they call it, where you just kind of drain the liquid off of chickpeas. You whip it up, like you can make like a lemon meringue pie, like that foamy whip topping that's on it. You can make that straight from that.
Wow.
You can do without. The thing is, anything that people are used to in their comfort foods usually can be made vegan. So it's not. It takes a little research, but it's not impossible.
Right. Okay. Last but not least, I want you to tell the people a little bit about what you got going on, services you offer, how they can get in touch with you. But before you do that, I want you to speak to the men out there that I'm 42 years old, you're almost 50. So speak to the men around our age who maybe they've gotten a little bit out of shape. They don't think they can get their mojo back. Talk to them a little bit.
You can absolutely get your mojo back, fellas. I work with a lot of guys that are, let's just be honest, kind of let themselves go. They got, busy career, family, everything. You don't focus on yourself because you got so many other things going on. And a lot of times these guys have desk jobs we talked about earlier, and they're just sitting all day.
Right.
They're just grazing and snacking on not the healthy foods all day. Right. And, you fast forward, and then, a couple years of working in that job and eating like that and not being active, going straight home, to the family and eating again, sitting in front of the TV. No, I'm serious. You're right. And it takes a toll on your health. It takes a toll on that mojo, as you talked about, and you can easily get it back. You just got to make up your mind. We talked about mindset earlier, that you're ready to start. It comes with that meditation, being connected with yourself, as well as just making a conscious effort to make better choices. And the thing is, it's not rocket science. Like, you did those things that have now become detrimental in a sense, or have your health in a poor state. It didn't happen overnight.
That's right.
It was choices that went along day after day after day after day after day, and it just started to escalate. What do you do now? Start making better choices, and that trend will come downward from that bad state that you have yourself in. And the thing is, those choices, like, and some guys probably had the best intentions, like, oh, I'll go to the gym tonight, and they didn't make it. Oh, then that one day leads to a week. Okay, I'm going to go next week. Then that leads to a month. Then that leads to a year. And next thing you know, they still got a gym membership they've been paying for, but haven't been in 3 years. If you start and then just stay consistent. And it's so easy to do, but it's so easy not to do. And that's that dichotomy. You just got to do it day in, day out, make those simple little changes every day. Consistency beats perfection. It's not going to be perfect. It's a
You know what? There was a saying that I heard the other day. It was so profound. I'm pretty sure you've heard it. The way that you do anything is the way you do everything.
Absolutely.
And that's pretty deep right there,
Yeah. So as I'm saying, fellas, you can get that mojo back. That gut you developed from sitting at that desk and not paying attention to yourself. Just start making better choices. Get away from that vending machine at work. Start packing your lunch. That's usually rule number one. If you prepare your own food, you have more control over what goes into it, as opposed to eating out and, they're just in the kitchen draining it in salt, sugar, or whatever. make your own foods, start being more active, and